All right, good morning, everyone. It is March 8th, and here is our plan of attack. If you're unaware, this is my plan on how I look to trade 0 days to expiration SPX options, basically at any fashion, scalp, credit spreads, things like that, and also trade ES futures, or even trade the SPY options or SPY shares if you wanted to as well. But it's all the same setup, just a different product to trade. Now, where I feel I really get my edge in doing this is having the ability to, I don't know if I'm going to call it ability. It's more of I can, I guess we'll say, somewhat forecast how I expect today's candles to close. And am I wrong? Sometimes, absolutely. I mean, because the market's going to do whatever it wants. And yeah, so that's kind of like where I get my edge. I forecast how I expect today's candle to be, and then I narrow it down to lower time frames to trade it. So that is where I kind of get my bias from big picture looking down. So before we dive into all that, let's go ahead and check out the calendar. All right, so this is at Forex Factory. Let's take a look here. We have ADP non-farm, or sorry, ADP non-farm employment change. Oh, and then we do have Powell testifying to the Senate again, which is very interesting to watch if you haven't watched that before. It's interesting. And then Jolt's jobs opening. This is all 30 minutes after they open. Okay, so this alone right here with Powell talking creates volatility, and so just be aware of that, and so trade accordingly off of that. So volatility today, be mindful of it, and look to see what you want to do with it. All right, so now forecasting, right? How do I expect today's candle to be? I want to remove this. Bam. All right. So big picture looking, bring this up here. I have some anchored VWAPs here. My all-time high anchored VWAP, an anchored VWAP from the last swing high, anchored VWAP from the last major swing low, and that swing low and year to date. So basically, we rallied from here, right? Tested it, held, and then we rallied up to all-time highs, anchored VWAP, and got rejected with a reversal candle, and now we're pulling back to the bear market point of control. So what does all that mean? I kind of expect it to be choppy. And why choppy? Because we have this level of resistance and then this level of support. It's going to have to give one way or the other, right? So it's going to be a tight range. Today, I only like in terms of high probability trading, I only like the bearish scenario. And why do I only like the bearish setup? Because there's a lot more resistance than there is support. I know we're up about 1/4% so far, but that doesn't mean it's going to change. Kind of how I'm expecting today's candle to be if it does continue to be a bearish sentiment. I think we may rally up to the 50-day SMA, get wicked, and then maybe close like this. Maybe. I don't, at the moment, I don't see a high probability opportunity that it's going to close like this on a big green candle. Like that doesn't make sense to me. But at the same time, the market can do whatever it wants. So I only like the bearish scenario, and let's talk about how I want to trade it. So let's pull up the quick hits. Okay. And before we go here, I want to pull up this chart. So these are my weekly volume profiles. Okay. And you see when price sold off. Right, so we're up here yesterday. Powell started talking, we fell. We fell and stopped right at last week's point of control, where the most volume has traded last week. So that is support. So the question is, do we take this level out? I do have the hourly 21 EMA on here. This is kind of like my level to watch for swing trades. And basically what I'm getting at is we're rallying right up to the weekly VWAP and the hourly 21 EMA. This looks like this is kind of the level that I am going to watch for price to get rejected and to move back lower. So yeah, so we're kind of at the level. Now, what if price does push up? Well, if price does push up, we do have another little node right here for the week. And that node lines up with, looks like it goes we'll call it 410 to 420. All right, so 410, 420 may potentially be resistance as well as we're rallying up into the hourly 21 EMA and the weekly VWAP. So why do I give you all that information? I give you that information to let you know that there is overhead resistance, right? And what was it, 410, 420? So 410, 420 is where that node is right here, right? In this area. What else is in that area? We have the daily 5 EMA, the daily 50 SMA, and then the hourly 50 EMA. So what do you know? Up ahead, there is a lot of resistance with some key moving averages there as well. We also, in that same zone, we have the daily 8 EMA, which is that yellow line right here. I know that the squeeze is turning bullishly at the moment, but at the moment it's hitting David's skyline, so I'm kind of like anticipating it to stall. So I know that was kind of like a really long, a lot of things pointed out. So let's go ahead and talk about the actual plan. I point them all out for a reason, right? You have to look big picture and look closely, right? Like then you narrow it in. And then the way I'm narrowing it in is looking at big picture, and then we look at these smaller time frames. All right, so let's go ahead and do this. This may actually help. So bam, and we said it was about 410 to 420. Go ahead and do that. Now, I am marking this level out because that is that HVA level. Okay, and it's also rallying up to, if you recall, right, we'll just say it's right here. Here's that hourly 21 EMA. Okay, so let's 21 EMA on the hourly time frame. Okay, so here is the bullish scenario. I don't have one. I don't like the bullish play. Bull play, nope, not going to do it. I don't like the bullish scenario right now. It could rally all day if it wants to. I'm not taking it. I get my edge in having going with the day and going with the context and being fine with knowing when I could stay out of it because I don't have my edge. My pitch isn't being thrown at me, so I'm not going to swing at it. All right, so now the bearish play I do like. All right, so you can see that it is currently printing a buy signal here. I'm going to look to see if it sticks or not. It is pre-market as time. The pre-market price action can get a little noisy because it's not as much volume. So I'm going to look for the squeeze right here to stall and start to rotate to the bearish side. And potentially after hitting the 21 EMA and then roll over this way, getting back below VWAP, which is this green line right here, and I'll act like it just crossed. And then I would look for price to probably hold rally, and then I'll get my signals that price is rotating. I get my dots and arrows, and then I'll play it back down to the short side. Targets to the short side, I mean, the bear market point of control is here at 39.73, and it could actually just slice right through that. I mean, it could keep going down to the 200-day SMA, which is all the way down here at 39.50. Also, another trade you could do it is in a bearish fashion. So there was that trade, right? So here's that bearish scenario. There's one other bearish scenario that I would consider because I told you I expect or I am anticipating price spiking up into the daily 50 SMA, right? If it does, and then roll over. So if price does rally up to the 50-day SMA up here, starts to stall, and you start to get dots and arrows, and at the same time, this 60-minute 50 EMA may be right here as well. So I like to see price stall, and then we get sell signals to take that back down. And now if that comes back down, if that's your signal, watch out for the hourly 21 EMA and VWAP. That's where you want to at least trail your stop and take a partial profit, and then look for price to continue lower and scale your stop. But the bullish scenario, I feel there's just too much headwinds to take that trade. So those are the two bearish scenarios I'm looking at. Just one more time, quick recap, just so it is clear. And I'll do it again. I'll like this part right here. Bullish. No, I'm not taking the bullish trade. Bearish. If you recall, it is rallying up to the weekly VWAP and the hourly 21 EMA, and this is where I'm going to look for price to fail, which it is currently as we're talking. All right, with our dots and arrows. So, no bullish play. As of right now, I like to see the squeeze rotation start to go dark blue and then start to go red, right? That'll be happening over here in the 30-minute time frame. But as price as it currently sits, I would like to see it break the 30-minute 21 EMA and the VWAP, rally up, get sell signals, and then take it back down. Scenario number 2, price continues to rally, or even, rally, it likes what Powell is saying, things like that. If it does rally up to the 50-day SMA, and like I mentioned, at the same time, the hourly 50 EMA is here, and then we get the dots and arrows, and then you play the reversion back to VWAP, which we'll just say if it does trend that way, it'll probably be like right here. And then you would look to at least scale out some of your position, adjust your stop, and look for continuation, or just close it out there. That's your call. But that's the two scenarios I like playing out. I don't like the bullish play right now. But that's all I have for y'all. I hope y'all have an awesome day. Be patient, and remember, you don't have to trade every day. If your pitch isn't being thrown, nothing's wrong with sitting on the sidelines and waiting for it. All right. Have a good day, everybody, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Take care.